Do you ever wonder why life feels overwhelming at times? Why do some people seem to handle challenges with ease, while others struggle endlessly? Could there be a way to achieve a sense of peace, happiness, and growth, no matter what life throws at you? These are the questions many of us ask ourselves. And today, we'll explore how you can begin your own journey to becoming a better version of yourself. It's not about perfection. It's about progress. Imagine waking up each day feeling clear-headed and calm, no matter what's happening around you. What if you could face challenges with patience, wisdom, and compassion instead of stress and anxiety? Well, this is where the teachings of Buddhism come in. The principles of Buddhism offer simple, yet powerful tools for self-improvement that can transform how you think, act, and interact with the world. It's all about making small shifts in your mindset and actions that lead to big changes over time. Welcome to Wisdom Woven, where we dive into these ancient teachings to help you unlock your true potential. Whether you're just starting or already on your journey of self-growth, this channel is here to guide and support you along the way. You'll find simple, practical advice that you can apply to your everyday life. So, if you want to grow and evolve into a better version of yourself, keep watching. There are so many views on this channel, but only 0.2% subscribe. So please, take a moment to like, comment, share, and subscribe to our channel. It helps us create more content for you and motivates us to keep bringing valuable insights to your life. Now, let's begin this transformative journey, and let's explore how you can truly become the best version of yourself, step by step. Stay tuned as we dive deeper into the wisdom that can change your life. The Four Noble Truths, understanding life's challenges. Life is full of challenges. We all face moments of difficulty, disappointment, and even suffering. But have you ever stopped to wonder why this is the case? Why do we feel pain, frustration, or loss, even when we try our best to avoid it? The answer lies in understanding the very nature of life itself. In Buddhism, there's a powerful teaching called the Four Noble Truths, which helps us understand why suffering exists and how we can rise above it. The first noble truth tells us something that might sound a bit harsh at first. Suffering is a part of life. It's not something we can escape. But before we get discouraged, let's think about it in simple terms. Everyone goes through suffering, whether it's physical pain, emotional heartache, or the stress of everyday life. We can't avoid it. And in a way, this truth helps us understand that suffering is universal. It's not just you or me, but everyone. From the richest person to the poorest, from the young to the old, all of us experience suffering at some point. Knowing this helps us to stop feeling alone or unfairly targeted by life's challenges. It's simply a part of the human experience. The second noble truth explains why we suffer. Our attachments and desires are the cause of suffering. What does this mean? Think about a time when you really wanted something, maybe a new gadget, a particular job, or even someone's attention. When you didn't get it, how did you feel? Probably frustrated, disappointed, or upset. Our desires, or the strong attachment to things or outcomes, often lead to suffering. We might cling to material possessions, relationships, or ideas about how our lives should be, and when these things don't meet our expectations, we suffer. But here's the good news. The third noble truth offers a solution. Suffering can end. This isn't some far-off, impossible dream. It's actually possible for us to experience peace and contentment, even in the face of life's challenges. How, you ask? The key is in letting go of the attachments and desires that cause us pain. Buddhism teaches us that when we stop clinging to things, when we let go of the belief that our happiness depends on external circumstances, we can find freedom. This doesn't mean we stop caring about the people and things we love. It means we stop needing them to be happy. This shift in mindset is incredibly powerful. Finally, the fourth noble truth is the path that leads us to the end of suffering. In Buddhism, this path is known as the Noble Eightfold Path, which is a series of practical steps we can follow to transform our lives and find lasting peace. It's not something that happens overnight, but it's a journey. Each step is like a tool that helps us build a better, more peaceful life. We'll explore the Eightfold Path in more detail later, but for now, know that this path offers a clear guide on how to live in a way that reduces suffering and increases happiness. To help you understand these truths better, let's use a simple example. Imagine you're holding a cup of hot tea. Now, If you try to hold on to it too tightly, your hand will burn. The more you grip it, the more pain you'll experience. This is like our attachments. The more tightly we hold on to our desires and expectations, the more we hurt ourselves. But if we learn to let go, to hold the cup gently, without gripping too tightly, we can enjoy it without the pain. The same goes for life. When we stop clinging to outcomes, expectations, and things we can't control, we can experience peace, even when challenges arise. So, the Four Noble Truths offer us a powerful understanding of the human condition. They teach us that suffering is real, but it's not something we need to let control us. We don't have to be slaves to our desires or expectations. We have the power to change how we respond to life. By understanding these truths, we begin to unlock the path to a more peaceful, fulfilling existence. We can move from a place of constant struggle to a place of acceptance and inner calm. Understanding the Four Noble Truths doesn't mean we'll never face difficult times again. Life is still full of challenges. But with this knowledge, we can approach those challenges with more clarity and peace. We can stop resisting life and start accepting it as it is, knowing that we have the power to shape our response. In the next part, we'll dive into the Eightfold Path, which is the practical guide that helps us live in a way that reduces suffering and leads to true happiness. But before we get there, take a moment to reflect on these Four Noble Truths. Are there areas in your life where you're holding on too tightly? Are there attachments or desires that are causing you more pain than peace? The first step to changing your life is to recognize the role these attachments play. Then once you understand that, you're already on the path to transforming your life. The Four Noble Truths offer a profound shift in how we view the world and our place in it. They help us understand that we don't have to be victims of our circumstances. We can choose how we respond, and in doing so, we begin to break free from suffering and step into a life of peace, purpose, and clarity. The Eightfold Path, a blueprint for better living. Imagine, for a moment, that you are walking on a long road. It's not just any road, but one that leads you to a place of peace, wisdom, and happiness. The road is clear, and it has signs that guide you along the way. These signs tell you where to go, how to walk, and what you should pay attention to, so you can reach your destination without getting lost. This road is like the Eightfold Path in Buddhism. It's a guide to living a better, more peaceful life, and it helps us grow mentally, emotionally, and spiritually. In Buddhism, the Eightfold Path is a map, a practical and simple guide to help us live our best lives. It's made up of 8 steps, and each one teaches us a way to be more mindful, more aware, and more compassionate. But remember, the Eightfold Path is not just something you follow once and forget about. It's a lifelong journey, and each step brings you closer to a more peaceful and fulfilled life. Let's break down the Eightfold Path into 8 simple steps that anyone can understand and apply to their life. Right view. Right view means understanding the world as it really is. It's seeing things clearly, without being clouded by our personal desires or biases. Imagine looking at the world through a clean window. Everything is sharp, bright, and clear. Right view helps us see the truth about life, including the fact that we all face challenges, suffer, and change. When we understand this, we can begin to make better decisions and face life's ups and downs with more grace. Right intention. Right intention is about having the right kind of thoughts and motives behind everything you do. It's about making sure that your actions come from a place of kindness, compassion, and a desire to help others, not from selfishness or anger. Think about it. When you act with a pure heart, without expecting anything in return, your actions have a positive impact on the world. Right intention helps us move away from harmful thoughts, like jealousy or greed, and instead focus on peaceful, loving thoughts. Right speech. Right speech means speaking truthfully and kindly. It's about saying things that build people up, not tear them down. We've all heard the saying, if you don't have anything nice to say, don't say anything at all. Right speech takes this idea a step further by encouraging us to speak in a way that helps others, creates harmony, and prevents unnecessary conflict. It's easy to get caught up in gossip or harsh words, but right speech teaches us to be mindful of our words, knowing they have the power to hurt or heal. Right action. Right action is about behaving in a way that is ethical and kind. It's about doing the right thing, even when no one is watching. This means not stealing, not harming others, and acting with honesty and integrity. Right action reminds us to always be aware of how our actions affect others and to make choices that benefit not only ourselves but also the people around us. When we act with kindness, we create a better world for ourselves and everyone we meet. Right livelihood. Right livelihood is about choosing a career or a way of life that doesn't cause harm to others. It's about making a living in a way that is honest, ethical, and doesn't take advantage of others. This doesn't mean you need to quit your job, but it does mean you should reflect on your work and make sure it aligns with your values. If you're working in a job that causes harm to others or the environment, it may be time to reconsider your path and find a more mindful way to earn a living. Right effort. Right effort is about putting in the work to change for the better. It's about putting energy into improving yourself, developing good habits, and letting go of bad ones. Think of it like training for a sport. If you want to get better, you have to practice consistently. Right effort is about being committed to personal growth and putting in the necessary effort to make positive changes. It's not always easy, but the rewards are worth it. Right mindfulness. Right mindfulness means being fully present in each moment. It's about paying attention to what's happening right now, rather than worrying about the past or the future. How often do we rush through life, thinking about what's next instead of enjoying the present? Right mindfulness teaches us to slow down, breathe, and truly experience the moment. This could mean focusing on your breath, noticing the sensations in your body, or paying full attention to the people around you. When we are mindful, we experience life more fully and find peace in the present. Right concentration. Right concentration is about developing the ability to focus your mind. It's about training your mind to stay focused on one thing at a time, whether that's in meditation or in your everyday activities. In today's world, we're constantly distracted by our phones, social media, and other things that take our attention away. Right concentration helps us to quiet the mind and bring our attention back to what's truly important. This allows us to act with more purpose and clarity. These 8 steps work together as a whole. They are not separate or isolated from one another. The more we practice one step, the easier it becomes to practice the others. Think of them as pieces of a puzzle, each one fitting perfectly into the others to create a complete picture of a better, more mindful life. By following the Eightfold Path, we move closer to living in a way that brings happiness, peace, and wisdom. The beauty of the Eightfold Path is that it's not something that only works in theory. It's something you can start applying to your life today. Each step is a small change that, when practiced regularly, leads to big results. You don't need to be perfect to follow the Eightfold Path. What matters is your effort and your intention to move in the right direction. It's about making progress, not perfection. When you start walking down the path, you may face obstacles. You may get distracted, or you may make mistakes along the way. But that's okay. The path itself is about learning, growing, and adjusting as you go. Every time you practice right view, right speech, right action, and the other steps, you are taking another step toward a life that is more peaceful, kind, and wise. This is the true power of the Eightfold Path. It's not about reaching a specific destination, but about the person you become along the way. Each step helps you develop the qualities that make you a better person, a more mindful person, and a more compassionate person. And that, in turn, brings peace and happiness to everyone around you. So, if you're ready to begin, start with just one step. It could be right speech today, or right mindfulness tomorrow. No matter where you begin, know that each small change you make has the power to transform your life. And when you walk the Eightfold Path, you're not walking alone. You're walking with centuries of wisdom that has guided people toward peace and happiness for thousands of years. Let that wisdom guide you, step by step, as you walk your own path toward becoming a better you. Mindfulness in meditation. The power of presence. Imagine this. You're sitting quietly, and the world is rushing around you. People are talking, cars are honking, phones are ringing. But in this moment, everything slows down. You feel calm, at peace, completely aware of the present moment. How did that happen? You might be surprised to know that this peaceful state is possible, and it's called mindfulness. Mindfulness is the practice of being fully present and aware in the moment, without letting distractions or worries pull you away. It's about experiencing life exactly as it is, not as you think it should be. This may sound simple, but it's a powerful tool for transforming your life. By practicing mindfulness, you can learn to notice your thoughts, feelings, and sensations without judgment, which helps you live with greater clarity and peace. In Buddhism, mindfulness is not just about being aware of what's around you. It's about being aware of what's inside you. Your thoughts, your emotions, your actions. Everything you do is an opportunity to practice mindfulness. This isn't a special skill for monks or spiritual seekers. It's for everyone. Whether you're cooking dinner, talking to a friend, or just walking down the street, mindfulness helps you be fully engaged in the present, instead of being distracted by past regrets or future worries. To practice mindfulness, you don't need anything special. All you need is a simple intention to be present. Start by paying attention to the small things, like how your breath feels as it enters and exits your body. Feel the sensation of your feet on the ground as you walk. When you're eating, notice the taste and texture of the food. These small moments of awareness can add up over time and change the way you experience the world. Now, let's talk about meditation. Meditation is like exercise for your mind. Just as physical exercise strengthens your body, meditation strengthens your ability to focus and be present. In Buddhism, meditation is used to train the mind, allowing you to develop deeper awareness and inner peace. Through regular meditation, you can learn to quiet the constant chatter in your mind and create space for clarity and calm. There are many forms of meditation, but the core principle is the same: to focus your mind and bring your attention to the present. One of the simplest forms of meditation is called mindfulness meditation, which involves focusing on your breath. Find a quiet place, sit comfortably, and pay attention to your breath. As you inhale and exhale, notice the sensations of the air entering and leaving your body. Whenever your mind wanders, gently bring your attention back to your breath. Over time, this practice trains your mind to stay focused and present, even in the midst of chaos. Meditation doesn't have to be complicated. Even just a few minutes a day can make a big difference. Start with 5 minutes and gradually increase the time as you get more comfortable. The key is consistency. Just like any new habit, the more you practice, the easier it becomes, and the more benefits you'll experience. Now, why is mindfulness and meditation so important in the journey of self-improvement? It's simple. When you're present, you're not reacting out of habit or emotion. Instead, you're responding thoughtfully and intentionally. You begin to see things as they are, without the filter of your judgments, fears, or desires. This clarity allows you to make better decisions, have more meaningful relationships, and experience a sense of calm, even in stressful situations. One of the most profound benefits of mindfulness is the ability to reduce stress. Stress often comes from worrying about the past or the future, regret over something you did, or anxiety about what might happen next. Mindfulness helps you stop living in those past and future moments and return to the present. When you focus on the here and now, the stress about what happened or what might happen starts to fade away. In Buddhism, this idea is tied to the concept of impermanence. Everything in life is constantly changing, and nothing lasts forever, good or bad. By practicing mindfulness, you learn to accept this impermanence. Instead of getting caught up in past mistakes or worrying about the future, you learn to embrace the present moment as it is, knowing that it too will pass. This understanding brings peace because you stop trying to control things that are beyond your control. You might be wondering, how can mindfulness help in daily life? The beauty of mindfulness is that it can be practiced anywhere, at any time. It's not about finding the perfect environment or setting aside hours for meditation. It's about bringing awareness to whatever you're doing in the moment. Whether you're washing dishes, walking in the park, or having a conversation, you can choose to be fully present. For example, let's say you're having a difficult conversation with someone. Normally, you might get defensive, start thinking about what you'll say next, or worry about how the conversation will end. But with mindfulness, you can focus on truly listening to the other person without jumping to conclusions. You stay present with their words, their emotions, and your own reactions, rather than getting lost in a swirl of thoughts. This simple shift can completely change how you communicate and how you feel about the situation. Mindfulness also helps you manage difficult emotions. Instead of ignoring or suppressing feelings like anger, sadness, or frustration, mindfulness allows you to acknowledge them without judgment. You can observe your emotions as they arise, recognize where they come from, and choose how to respond. This prevents you from being swept away by your emotions and allows you to make more thoughtful choices. It's important to remember that mindfulness is a practice, not a perfection. You don't need to be perfect at it. There will be times when your mind wanders, when you get distracted, or when you find yourself reacting out of habit, and that's okay. The goal is to notice when this happens, gently bring your attention back, and keep practicing. Every moment is an opportunity to start again. As you continue on your path to self-improvement, remember that mindfulness is not just something you do in meditation. It's a way of being. It's about living with intention, being present in your life, and cultivating a deeper awareness of yourself and the world around you. When you practice mindfulness, you're not just changing your thoughts, you're changing the way you live. You're transforming your experience of life itself. In the next part, we'll dive deeper into how mindfulness connects with other Buddhist teachings, like the idea of impermanence and how understanding change can help you live a better life. For now, take a moment to reflect. How can you bring more mindfulness into your daily routine? What small moments can you focus on today? The journey to becoming a better you begins with these small, present moments. And with mindfulness, you're already on your way. The concept of impermanence, embracing change. Life is constantly changing. Whether it's the seasons changing, the day turning into night, or even the way we feel, change is the only thing that remains constant. Yet, many of us try to hold on to things as if they should stay the same forever. We get attached to people, places, ideas, and even feelings, thinking they will bring us permanent happiness. But the truth is, everything in life is impermanent. Nothing lasts forever. This is one of the most important teachings of Buddhism, and it can bring profound peace if we learn to accept it. Impermanence, in Buddhist terms, is called anicca. It's the understanding that all things, whether they are physical objects, relationships, or emotions, are in a state of constant change. Nothing is permanent, and everything will eventually pass. This doesn't mean that life is bleak or meaningless. On the contrary, when we fully embrace impermanence, we can start to live more freely and without fear. We no longer cling to things that are not meant to last, and we become more open to experiencing life as it is, in all its beautiful, fleeting moments. Think about your own life for a moment. How many times have you experienced something wonderful, only to have it change or end? Perhaps a friendship grew apart, or a dream you had didn't turn out the way you hoped. These experiences can be painful, but they are also natural parts of life. When we hold on too tightly, we set ourselves up for disappointment. We want things to stay the same, but they can't. And that's okay. In fact, the more we try to hold on to the past or fear the future, the more we miss out on the present moment, which is all we truly have. Now, consider a simple example: the passing of a flower. A flower blooms, shines in the sunlight, and eventually fades away. While it is blooming, it is beautiful and full of life. But it doesn't stay that way forever. The beauty of the flower lies in its temporary nature. We don't mourn its passing when it fades. Instead, we appreciate the time it was with us. The same is true for everything in life. When we embrace impermanence, we begin to see the value of every moment, and we stop fearing the inevitable changes that come our way. Buddhism teaches us that instead of resisting change, we should learn to flow with it. Life is like a river, constantly moving and changing course. If we try to fight the current, we exhaust ourselves. But if we allow ourselves to float with the flow, we move with ease. The key is to accept that nothing stays the same. Whether it's joy or sorrow, success or failure, everything is temporary. By accepting this, we can begin to experience peace in the midst of life's ups and downs. The idea of impermanence also brings us closer to the present moment. If we are always thinking about the past or worrying about the future, we miss the opportunity to enjoy what is happening right now. Think about it. When was the last time you truly lived in the moment? Maybe you were walking outside, but your mind was elsewhere. Or perhaps you were talking to someone, but your thoughts were on something else. When we stop trying to hold on to the past or predict the future, we can be fully present, experiencing life as it unfolds. A simple meditation practice can help you connect with impermanence. Sit quietly for a few minutes and pay attention to your breath. Notice how it comes and goes. With each inhale, life enters you, and with each exhale, life leaves you. In the same way, thoughts, emotions, and experiences come and go. They're like waves on the ocean, rising and falling. If we can learn to watch these waves without getting attached to them, we can live more freely and with less fear. But what about when change is painful? What happens when we face loss or disappointment? It's natural to feel sadness, but it's also important to remember that the pain will pass. Just as the seasons change, so do our feelings. Today's sorrow may turn into tomorrow's peace. By embracing impermanence, we don't push away pain. Instead, we accept it as part of the human experience. And we understand that, just like everything else, it, too, will change. Impermanence also teaches us the importance of gratitude. When we realize that nothing lasts forever, we start to appreciate the present moment more. We become more thankful for the people in our lives, the experiences we have, and even the small, everyday moments that we might otherwise take for granted. The fact that life is temporary makes it all the more precious. Each moment is a gift, and when we recognize that, we are more likely to live with intention and awareness. Now, let's consider how impermanence can help us with our attachments. We often hold on to things, whether it's possessions, relationships, or even certain ideas, because we think they will give us lasting happiness. But when we understand that everything changes, we begin to let go. We don't have to force ourselves to detach from things, but we can gradually begin to recognize that our happiness does not depend on them. True happiness comes from within, from our ability to live with acceptance and peace in the face of change. As you move forward in your life, remember that impermanence is not something to fear, it's something to embrace. The more we accept that everything will change, the less we suffer when things do. We can live with more openness, knowing that life's natural flow will bring us new experiences, challenges, and joys. Every moment is an opportunity to grow, to learn, and to become more deeply connected to who we are and what truly matters. So, the next time you feel stressed or overwhelmed by change, remind yourself that it's a part of life. Instead of resisting it, allow it to be. Whether it's a new chapter in your life or the end of something familiar, see it as a chance to grow and transform. Life is a constant journey of becoming, and impermanence is the very force that propels us forward. In embracing impermanence, you will discover that change is not something to fear but something to celebrate. With each passing moment, you become more aware, more present, and more in tune with the flow of life. The more you accept that everything is temporary, the more you can appreciate the beauty of the present moment. And in doing so, you will find peace, karma, and intentions, shaping your destiny. Let's take a moment to think about the actions we take every day. Every little thing you do, whether it's a kind word, a simple smile, or even a thought you have about someone, it all matters. It shapes who you are. This is what we call karma, the actions, both good and bad, that we create in this world, and the energy we send out into it. Karma isn't some mysterious force. It's a simple truth. Every action has a consequence. But here's the thing, karma isn't just about the big actions. It's also about the little ones, the thoughts we have, and the intentions behind our actions. You might be wondering, how can I possibly control my karma? Well, karma isn't about blaming yourself for every mistake, nor is it about thinking that every good deed will immediately bring good things to you. Karma is about intention. It's about being mindful of the thoughts that lead to actions, and the understanding that every action you take, no matter how small, is shaping your future. Let's break it down. Imagine you're walking down the street, and you see someone struggling with their bags. You could ignore them and keep walking, or you could choose to stop and help. That small decision might seem insignificant, but it is an act of kindness, a positive action that creates good karma. Helping someone isn't just about the action itself, it's about the intention behind it. If you help them with a genuine heart, without expecting anything in return, you're creating positive energy, both for them and for yourself. And over time, this adds up, shaping your life in powerful ways. But what happens if you decide to act out of selfishness or anger? For example, let's say someone cuts in front of you in line. Your initial reaction might be to feel frustrated, or maybe you want to say something rude. If you choose to act on that frustration, whether it's by speaking harshly or holding on to the anger, you're creating negative karma. The key here isn't that you've been wronged, but that your response to the situation matters. If you act from anger, you're feeding negativity, and that energy will come back to you in ways you might not expect. But remember, karma doesn't always show up immediately. Sometimes, the effects of our actions take time to unfold. This is why it's important to stay mindful of what you're doing, saying, and thinking, because every moment is an opportunity to create good or bad karma. The more aware you are of your intentions, the more you can shape your life in the direction you want to go. When your actions are rooted in love, kindness, and wisdom, you're creating a positive environment not only for yourself, but for everyone around you. In Buddhism, we are taught that it's not just about our actions, but also about our thoughts and emotions. It's said that even the smallest thought can create ripples of energy. For instance, if you constantly think about how much you dislike someone, that thought is a form of karma. It's shaping your inner world and influencing how you interact with them. Negative thoughts can lead to negative actions, and over time, they create more suffering. On the other hand, when you focus on compassion, patience, and understanding, it can transform your relationship with yourself and others. Even if you can't change someone else, your actions and thoughts can create a peaceful, positive environment for you. It's important to understand that karma isn't about being perfect. It's about doing your best, moment by moment, to live with integrity, honesty, and kindness. We all make mistakes. We all have moments where we act out of anger or fear. But the beauty of karma is that it offers us a chance to change, to begin again, and to cultivate better habits. Every moment is an opportunity to shift your intentions and start creating positive energy in the world. Think about this. If you want a peaceful life, you must act with peace. If you want love, you must give love. If you want happiness, you must act in ways that bring joy, not just to you, but to others as well. This doesn't mean you should be perfect, but it does mean you should be aware of how your actions affect the world around you. Every action creates a ripple, and over time, those ripples can create waves of change. But what about when life isn't going the way you want? When you feel like the world is against you, and your efforts don't seem to be paying off? This is where Buddhism teaches us that karma is not just about rewards or punishments. Sometimes, the challenges we face are a result of past karma, but they are also opportunities for us to learn and grow. When you face difficulties, instead of asking, "Why is this happening to me?" try asking yourself, "What can I learn from this?" The difficulties and obstacles in your life are opportunities for you to refine your mind and character. Your actions today shape the future you will experience tomorrow. So, start small. Focus on your intentions in every moment. Are you acting with kindness? Are you thinking with compassion? If you can start paying attention to your intentions, your karma will naturally begin to shift. And as it does, your life will start to reflect the peace, love, and positivity you are cultivating. Karma, in its simplest form, is the law of cause and effect. But it's also a reminder that we have the power to shape our lives through our thoughts, words, and actions. You are the creator of your own destiny. Every moment gives you the chance to choose love over anger, kindness over cruelty, patience over frustration. And with each good choice, you're adding to your storehouse of positive karma. In Buddhism, there is no judgment. There is only understanding. Every action is a chance to learn, to grow, and to improve. You are not condemned by your past actions, but you can change them by shifting your thoughts and behaviors now. What you do today can shape the life you will lead tomorrow. And in this, you are always free to choose the path that leads to peace and happiness. So, remember, it's not about doing big things or trying to be perfect. It's about living with intention, kindness, and awareness in each and every moment. You have the power to shape your destiny, to create the life you want, one small action at a time. Your karma is in your hands, and it's never too late to start creating positive energy, compassion, and loving kindness, building better relationships. Imagine for a moment a world where everyone approaches each other with compassion and loving kindness, where we see others not as competitors, but as fellow travelers on this journey called life. How would that change the way we interact, communicate, and build relationships? In Buddhism, compassion and loving kindness are not just ideals, they are practices. Practices that can help us create deeper, more meaningful connections with the people around us. Compassion is not just about feeling sorry for someone in distress. It is about understanding and connecting with their pain. It's about offering a hand to someone who's struggling, not out of pity, but out of a genuine desire to help. Loving-kindness, or metta, is the unconditional wish for happiness and well-being for all beings, including yourself. It is a practice of extending love and goodwill, not just to your friends and family, but to strangers, and even to those you may disagree with. This is the heart of Buddhist teachings, and it has the power to transform our relationships, both with ourselves and with others. You might wonder, how do you practice compassion and loving-kindness in daily life? It doesn't have to be complicated or grand. It starts with small, everyday actions. When someone cuts you off in traffic, instead of getting angry, you can wish them well. You might silently say, "May you be safe and happy." It might feel strange at first, but with practice, you'll start to see the power of these simple words. They not only change how you feel about the situation, but also free you from holding on to negative emotions like anger or resentment. Another powerful way to practice loving-kindness is through meditation. You can start by sitting quietly and focusing on your breath. As you breathe in and out, think of someone you care about deeply. Imagine them surrounded by love and warmth. Now, expand this feeling of love. Wish them happiness, peace, and well-being. Once you've sent this love to one person, extend it to others. Wish the same for your family, your friends, and even those you might not get along with. As you keep practicing, you'll find that your heart naturally opens up more, and you begin to see the world through the lens of love and compassion. Loving kindness also involves seeing the good in others, even when they might not show it at first. It's easy to judge someone based on their actions or behavior, but in Buddhism, we are taught that every person is capable of kindness and goodness, even if it's not always apparent. The goal is to recognize the potential in others and approach them with understanding. When you see someone struggling, whether it's a colleague at work or a stranger on the street, offering them compassion and kindness can make all the difference. A smile, a kind word, or simply listening can transform someone's day. This practice is not just for others. It is equally important for yourself. Often, we are our own harshest critics. We may feel unworthy of love or kindness, especially when we make mistakes. But Buddhism teaches us to offer the same compassion to ourselves that we offer to others. If you make a mistake, instead of beating yourself up, try to treat yourself with the same kindness and understanding you would show a friend. Remind yourself that you are human, and making mistakes is part of the journey. Through this practice, you will learn to forgive yourself, heal, and grow stronger. Compassion and loving kindness also involve recognizing the interconnectedness of all beings. We are not isolated individuals living separate lives. Every action we take impacts the world around us. If we approach life with a mindset of love and compassion, we not only create a positive environment for others, but we also create one for ourselves. By spreading kindness, we receive kindness in return. It's like planting seeds of positivity that will eventually blossom into peace, happiness, and understanding. There's another powerful aspect of compassion: the ability to remain calm and compassionate in the face of conflict. In many situations, when we face disagreement or tension, our instinct is to react with anger or frustration. But if we practice compassion, we learn to respond with patience and understanding. Instead of reacting impulsively, we can take a step back, breathe, and approach the situation with a calm heart. This doesn't mean we allow others to walk all over us, but it means we approach conflict with a mindset of resolution, not escalation. This is particularly important in the way we communicate. Effective communication in relationships is built on empathy. When you truly listen to someone, without interrupting or judging, you are offering them a space to express themselves freely. This is one of the most powerful ways to show compassion, and in turn, when others listen to you with kindness, it fosters mutual respect and understanding. This simple practice can strengthen any relationship, whether it's with a partner, a friend, or a colleague. Another profound way that compassion influences our relationships is through the practice of nonviolence. In Buddhism, the idea of nonviolence, or ahimsa, is not just about physical harm. It extends to our words, actions, and thoughts. When we practice nonviolence, we strive to speak with kindness, act with integrity, and think with compassion. This practice helps to create peaceful relationships where both parties feel safe, respected, and valued. The more we practice compassion, the more we understand that everyone, without exception, has their struggles, their fears, and their dreams. This shared experience of being human is what connects us all. When we acknowledge this, it becomes easier to show kindness, patience, and love. We begin to see others not as separate beings, but as extensions of ourselves. This is the foundation for building better relationships, whether with loved ones, colleagues, or even strangers. One of the most beautiful aspects of compassion is that it is contagious. When we show compassion to others, it inspires them to do the same. Imagine a world where everyone treated each other with love and kindness. This is not just a dream. It is possible, one small act at a time. And it starts with you. By choosing to be compassionate in every interaction, you have the power to create a ripple effect that spreads throughout your community, your family, and even the world. Ultimately, practicing compassion and loving kindness is about cultivating an attitude of unconditional love and care for all beings. It's about letting go of judgment and embracing the humanity in others. By practicing these teachings, we can build stronger, more meaningful relationships and contribute to a world that is kinder, more peaceful, and more understanding. The path to building better relationships begins with the simple, yet profound, act of showing compassion. Whether it's through a smile, a kind word, or a thoughtful gesture, each act of kindness is a step toward creating a more harmonious world. So, next time you interact with someone, remember to approach them with compassion and loving kindness. You'll be surprised by how much it can transform both your relationships and your own life. Detachment and inner peace. Letting go of suffering. When we talk about detachment in Buddhism, it's not about turning cold or indifferent. It's not about rejecting the world or running away from life's challenges. Instead, detachment is about finding peace by letting go of the things that create unnecessary suffering. It's about releasing the grip of attachment to things, people, or even our own emotions that bind us to stress, worry, and pain. Life is full of ups and downs. We experience joy, love, and success, but we also face hardships, losses, and failures. The natural instinct is often to hold on tight to the good moments and avoid or resist the bad ones. We cling to the idea that happiness comes from these fleeting moments of pleasure, and we fight against suffering, trying to push it away. But the more we cling, the more we suffer. It's like holding on to a rope that's burning your hands. The longer you hold it, the more pain you feel. But once you let go, the pain stops. Detachment doesn't mean not caring or not loving. In fact, it's the opposite. When we let go of the attachments that cause us pain, we can love and experience life more freely. We stop depending on external circumstances for our happiness, and we start finding peace from within. The truth is, our happiness and peace don't come from the things or people around us. They come from within ourselves. And by practicing detachment, we free ourselves from the emotional roller coaster that comes with constantly seeking things outside of us. To understand detachment, we need to first understand attachment. Attachment happens when we form strong emotional bonds with people, experiences, and possessions. We think that these things will bring us lasting happiness. But the problem is that nothing in life stays the same. People change, situations shift, and material things break or fade away. When we attach ourselves too strongly to these external factors, we set ourselves up for disappointment. For example, think about a beautiful flower. You admire it, appreciate its beauty, and feel happy just looking at it. But if you pick the flower and keep it in a vase, over time, it will wither. No matter how much you love the flower, its nature is to change. It's not meant to last forever. The same goes for everything in life. People change, things break, moments pass, and when we try to hold on to these fleeting things, we end up holding on to suffering. This is where the practice of detachment becomes incredibly powerful. By recognizing the impermanence of all things, we start to let go of the need to hold on so tightly. Detachment teaches us to accept that life is always changing and that nothing stays the same forever. When we can accept this truth, we stop resisting the flow of life. Instead, we go with it. We stop getting stuck in our attachments and start finding peace in the present moment. One of the best ways to practice detachment is through mindfulness and meditation. When we meditate, we observe our thoughts and emotions without getting attached to them. We simply notice what comes and goes without identifying with them. This is a powerful way to break free from the cycle of attachment and suffering. By practicing mindfulness, we learn to be more present in our daily lives without clinging to the past or worrying about the future. For example, when a negative thought arises, perhaps you feel anger, fear, or sadness, don't immediately react. Instead, pause and notice the thought. Recognize that it's just a passing moment, not your true self. You can acknowledge it, but you don't need to let it control you. When you detach from your thoughts and emotions in this way, they lose their power over you. You don't need to be consumed by them. Another powerful practice of detachment is learning to let go of expectations. We often become attached to how we want things to unfold. We imagine a certain outcome, and when it doesn't happen the way we expect, we feel disappointed or frustrated. But when we release those expectations and simply embrace whatever comes, we can find peace even in the most challenging situations. Let's consider an example. Imagine you've planned a trip, and everything seems perfect. You're excited about it, and you have certain expectations for how it will go. But then, on the day of the trip, something goes wrong. Maybe the weather changes, or a flight is delayed. Now, if you hold tightly to your expectations and resist the change, you'll experience frustration and stress. But if you can detach from those expectations and simply accept what happens, you'll find peace in the present moment. You might even discover that the unexpected turn of events leads to something beautiful or surprising. Detachment also helps us let go of the need for control. In life, we try to control so many things: our relationships, our work, our environment. But the truth is, we can't control everything. Life is unpredictable, and sometimes things don't go the way we plan. Detachment allows us to release the need to control and embrace the uncertainty of life. When we let go of the need to control, we open ourselves to new possibilities, new experiences, and a sense of freedom. The more we practice detachment, the more we begin to understand that our true nature is peace and stillness. When we stop grasping and clinging, we can experience the world without fear or desire. We can simply be, and in that simplicity, we find true happiness. By letting go of our attachments, we make space for something deeper: inner peace. Of course, practicing detachment doesn't happen overnight. It takes time, patience, and self-compassion. We are all attached to something, and it's okay. The key is to start small and take one step at a time. Maybe you begin by noticing your attachments to material things. Perhaps you notice how much you rely on external validation to feel good about yourself. Or maybe you recognize how you resist certain emotions or situations. Once you become aware of your attachments, you can start practicing letting go. You don't have to force yourself to detach from everything at once. Instead, try letting go of one small thing. For example, the next time you feel upset or frustrated, try to observe your emotions without reacting. Recognize that they are temporary and choose to let them pass. With time, this practice will become easier, and you'll begin to feel more peaceful and free. Detachment is not about rejecting life. It's about embracing it fully, without clinging to anything. It's about experiencing life with an open heart and mind, free from the fear of loss. It's about finding peace within yourself, no matter what is happening around you. And when you can do this, you'll discover a freedom that comes from within, a freedom that nothing in the world can take away. In the end, the practice of detachment leads to the deepest form of inner peace. You begin to understand that happiness is not something you can chase or hold on to. It's something that naturally arises when you stop clinging to the past or the future. It's something that comes when you let go of the need for control and simply allow life to unfold. This is the true essence of detachment, and it's the key to living a peaceful, fulfilled life. By practicing detachment, you'll not only free yourself from unnecessary suffering, but you'll also unlock the ability to live more fully, more joyfully, and with greater compassion for yourself and others. You'll find that peace is not something you have to seek. It's something that's always been within you, just waiting to be realized. Buddhist practices for daily life. Simple steps to transform yourself. In the busy pace of modern life, it can be easy to overlook the importance of our daily habits. Yet, it's these small, consistent actions that shape who we are and how we experience the world. Buddhism offers us simple practices that can make a huge difference in our daily lives. These practices aren't just for monks or people who meditate for hours a day. They're for all of us, and they can be woven into the fabric of our everyday routines. The first practice is mindfulness. Mindfulness is about being fully present in whatever you're doing, whether it's eating, walking, working, or talking to someone. How often do we rush through life, distracted by thoughts of the past or future? In mindfulness, we shift our focus back to the present moment, observing our thoughts, feelings, and actions without judgment. It's as simple as paying attention to your breath when you're feeling stressed. Just stop for a moment, breathe deeply, and center yourself. This simple practice can bring a sense of calm and awareness to your day. Another powerful practice is meditation. You don't need to sit for hours on a cushion to meditate. Meditation is simply a time for you to slow down, clear your mind, and reconnect with your inner self. You can start with just a few minutes each day, focusing on your breath, or using a mantra or a sound to help you concentrate. As you meditate, you may notice your mind wandering. That's okay. Gently bring your focus back to the present moment. Over time, meditation helps train your mind to be more calm, focused, and clear. It also gives you the space to reflect on your life, your thoughts, and your emotions, helping you understand yourself better. Buddhism also emphasizes the practice of gratitude. It's easy to focus on what we lack or what's going wrong in our lives. But taking time each day to reflect on what we're grateful for can shift our perspective. It could be as simple as being thankful for a hot meal, a kind word from a friend, or the beauty of nature around you. Gratitude helps us focus on the positive, and it can bring more joy and contentment into our lives. Take a moment every day to list 3 things you're grateful for. Even on difficult days, this practice can help you see that there's always something good in your life. One practice that may be more difficult for many of us is detachment. Detachment doesn't mean you stop caring about things or people. It means learning not to cling to them, not to let them define your happiness. In our world, we often tie our sense of self-worth to our possessions, achievements, or relationships. But in Buddhism, we are taught that true happiness comes from within, not from external things. Detachment is about letting go of attachments, learning to live with less, and focusing on what truly matters. For example, if you lose something valuable, instead of becoming upset, you can practice acceptance, knowing that nothing in life is permanent. Letting go of attachment helps us experience peace, even in the midst of loss or change. Another essential practice in Buddhism is compassion. It's not enough to simply care about others from a distance. Compassion means actively engaging with others' suffering and doing what we can to help alleviate it. This could be something small, like offering a listening ear to a friend, or something larger, like volunteering your time or resources to help those in need. Compassion also means being kind to yourself. Often, we are our own harshest critics, holding ourselves to impossible standards. But practicing self-compassion allows us to accept our flaws and imperfections, treating ourselves with the same kindness and understanding that we offer others. Buddhism teaches us to practice right speech. Our words have the power to build or break relationships, to heal or hurt. Right speech is about speaking truthfully, kindly, and respectfully. It's about avoiding gossip, harsh words, and lying. In our daily lives, we have countless opportunities to practice right speech. Before speaking, take a moment to consider. Are my words true? Are they kind? Are they necessary? By choosing our words carefully, we can foster a more harmonious and peaceful environment in our homes, workplaces, and communities. The practice of right action is also crucial. This involves behaving ethically and making choices that align with your values. In Buddhism, this means refraining from actions that harm others, like stealing, lying, or causing pain. Instead, it's about living in a way that respects the dignity and well-being of all beings, whether human or animal. Right action encourages us to act with integrity, to help others, and to live in a way that reflects our highest principles. Right livelihood is another important concept. It refers to choosing a profession or way of earning a living that does not harm others. In today's world, This could mean choosing to work for a company that aligns with your values, or it could mean starting a business that supports ethical practices. Right livelihood is about making sure your work contributes positively to the world, rather than taking advantage of others or causing harm. As we apply these Buddhist practices to our daily lives, it's important to remember that progress takes time. Change doesn't happen overnight. It's not about being perfect. It's about being consistent. The more you practice mindfulness, meditation, gratitude, detachment, compassion, right speech, right action, and right livelihood, the more you'll begin to notice a shift in how you experience life. You'll find yourself more peaceful, more focused, and more connected to the world around you. The path to becoming a better you isn't about reaching an endpoint. It's about walking the path, step by step, with intention and awareness. In the end, these simple practices can help you transform your life in ways you never imagined. Buddhism isn't just a set of teachings to follow. It's a way of living, a way of seeing the world with fresh eyes, a way of being present in every moment. Each small step you take in applying these practices brings you closer to becoming the best version of yourself. So, why not start today? Take one simple step towards self-improvement and let these practices guide you toward a life of greater peace, joy, and fulfillment. As you begin integrating these practices into your life, remember that the journey is unique for everyone. There is no right or wrong way to walk this path. What matters is that you're moving forward, one step at a time, with mindfulness and intention, and with each step, you'll find yourself becoming more connected to your true self, to others, and to the world around you. Conclusion: your path to becoming a better you. As we come to the end of our journey together, it's important to remember that becoming a better version of yourself is not a destination. It's a continuous journey, one that unfolds over time. There's no final perfect you to reach because life itself is constantly changing, evolving, and teaching us. But the teachings of Buddhism, combined with mindfulness and self-awareness, help guide us along this path, giving us tools to navigate the ups and downs of life with grace, patience, and clarity. You have learned how to face life's challenges with the Four Noble Truths, to walk the Eightfold Path as a guide for your daily actions, and to embrace mindfulness in your everyday life. These are not just teachings to memorize, but practices to live by. The key is to integrate them into your life and let them transform the way you think, act, and interact with the world. Remember, the Buddhist teachings are not about blind faith or perfection. They are about awakening to the present moment, letting go of attachments, and acting with kindness, wisdom, and compassion. You don't have to be perfect to apply these teachings. You just need to take small steps every day. As the saying goes, a journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step. Every choice you make, no matter how small, has the power to lead you towards becoming a better, more awakened person. Your path may not always be easy, and there will be obstacles along the way. But with every challenge, there's an opportunity for growth. Whether it's practicing mindfulness during a busy day, showing compassion to someone who needs it, or letting go of past hurt to find peace, every moment offers a chance to become a better version of yourself. So, as you walk this path, remember to be kind to yourself. Be patient. There's no need to rush. It's not about being better than others. It's about being the best version of yourself. It's about finding peace within and letting that peace radiate outward to others. You don't have to change everything at once. Take it one step at a time, and let the teachings of Buddhism guide you. Now, as you continue your journey, remember that you are not alone. Each person walking this path is also learning, growing, and evolving. We are all interconnected, and as we become better versions of ourselves, we contribute to the collective well-being of the world. By practicing mindfulness, compassion, and wisdom, you help create a ripple effect that touches everyone around you. Your journey to self-improvement is not just about you. It's about the people you affect along the way. Every act of kindness, every moment of patience, every bit of wisdom you share, adds to the collective good of the world. And when we all walk this path together, we create a better, more compassionate world for everyone. As we conclude, I encourage you to keep going. Don't wait for the right moment or the perfect conditions. Start where you are, with what you have. The journey of becoming a better you begins in this very moment. And every step you take today will lead you to a brighter, more fulfilling tomorrow. Thank you for being part of this journey with me here at Wisdom Woven. If this video has inspired you, make sure to like, comment, share, and subscribe. Let's continue to grow together. Keep striving, keep learning, and keep evolving. May your path be filled with wisdom, peace, and endless opportunities for growth. Until we meet again, remember this. You are always a work in progress, and that's exactly how it's supposed to be. Keep moving forward, keep embracing the lessons of life, and keep becoming a better version of yourself each and every day. Take care, and let the wisdom of the path guide you always.